I got Luke from the Struts. How are you? Good to speak to you. And what time is it over there?
The time is 10:33. You are late.
This is breakfast for you, Luke, because this is rockstar hours right now.
Breakfast? 10:33. No, this is the time we'll be getting on it. This is the time we're getting on. Breakfast would be about 2 to 3 p.m. my time. My time. I want to just reinforce the word my time.
That is a good point. And look, we appreciate it because, you know, we've got a great history with you guys already. I mean, that first tour when you came here with Greta Van Fleet, you just stole the show, that entire tour. Like, you had so many Aussie fans just loving this show. And I think also Aussie fans love a good live show. We love a good pub rock show. And, you know, it was just so good to see.
I mean, those shows of Greta were fantastic. In fact, Greta was the only collaboration on the album Strange Days that unfortunately didn't happen. But could you imagine on top of everything else that we'd have, you know, Jake and whatnot on a track by the Struts? That was the original idea. So but slightly declined.
Well, that is a shame because you do have some pretty good people on that list. I mean, you do have Def Leppard. You know, you got some pretty good collabs. You got Joe Elliott and Phil. I mean, Robbie Williams. You know, like, so some pretty good ones there. But it's a shame they declined. Was it polite or was it not polite?
Oh no, of course it was polite. Look, I have nothing but love for those guys. Like, I remember taking them out for the very first tour. I remember, I just remember everything. I remember seeing them on stage and whatnot, and thinking that there was something about them, and they were so incredibly young, and it's just funny just to see them like grow, and when it came to this album, you know, we got in touch with them to play on a song called Burn It Down. And it just never happened, man. It's never happened. But, you know, like you just pointed out, like there were so many other collaborations that happened that everything works out for a reason. And when I think about it now, it's kind of like, it might have been a little bit too much, you know. It might have been a bit of like we are the Struts and featuring kind of like 8 different people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Look, maybe you could say that for the next album, or as a, you know, a B-side even, or whatever, you know. But
yeah, me and Josh are going to do a crooner album.
Yeah,
you
do that, mate. It's an amazing achievement during COVID to get in the bunker, you know, your producer's house, and lock yourself in, do your COVID tests, and tell us about that process. I mean, did you think at the time, okay, maybe we could put this off and there might be, you know, maybe we'll do it later in the year, or it was one of those things where, hey, we're not doing anything, we can't tour, so let's just do it?
Well, from the very word COVID, we started doing quarantine radio. We started doing a thing called Sunday Service. And we wanted to stay in touch with our fans as much as we could. And when it came to the allocated space of time, it was basically like, when it comes to the Struts, we normally work on a song for 2 to 3 days, maybe 4. So we thought we were going to be coming out of these sessions with maybe 3, 4 songs at the absolute most. And, you know, with the combination of just excitement, desire, and artistic freedom, artistic, what's the word I'm looking for?
Freedom? Yeah, no.
Freedom, artistic freedom. We ended up just making an incredible album, which from start to finish has just been like a testament of a group that has been on the road for 6 years straight. And I honestly think it's some of our best work to date, for sure.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, it's the old formula of a band is go out, hit the road, make as many fans as you can in as much time as you got, and that's exactly what you did. You know, you came back to Australia for another tour, and I was there at the Factory Theatre and saw you guys there for your headline tour, and you know, I just saw all these new fans who were just totally in awe of this live show, and you guys look great. And you know, someone said to me, it's like bringing back T-Rex. Do you think? Have you heard that before, T-Rex? So you know,
T-Rex. I mean, all I know is that I was very naughty in Australia, and Australians bring out, dare say, the best / the worst in me. No questions asked. There's something about the Australian people that they're always up for a laugh. They're always up for a good time, and I just seem to get dragged into it all the time. But I can't wait to get back out to Oz, because I've been coming to Australia since I was a little boy, and it's really kind of one of my spiritual homes. And God, I just love the Australian people. I just fucking love them. Absolutely love them. It's hard to describe.
Well, we do love the Brits, because the Brits, you know, it's our heritage, but also you know, we love going out, going drinking at all the you know, the backpacker pubs particularly, because you always have a good time with anyone.
Yeah, but you get it. You get it. The Australians get it. Like, the Australians get why, you know, the Brits and obviously yourselves like to start drinking at like midday.
Yeah, we do.
Everywhere else around the world, including America, you know, if I was to pull up at like an American bar and just start getting pissed up at like 12 and 1 p.m., they'd be like looking at me like I'm some sort of like junkie. But I come to Australia and I do it, and it's like I'm home, you know. So it's always a good crowd in Australia.
Now, tell us about this LA lifestyle you had for a little while. I mean, you went to your producer's house, and you get up in the morning and, you know, get a coffee and then start working on a song. You know, you guys fit right in the LA thing as well, which surprises me a bit.
Yeah, to an extent. I mean, I had this burning sensation in about November 2019, after working with like John Levine, who was our producer, on a couple of tracks that were not Struts related. And I just thought, you know what, like, I could be doing so much in my time off. And that eventually led me to kind of like move out to LA in mid-January 2020.
Mm.
And the band obviously like followed pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And yeah, we were just all there at the right time, the right place. And dare say the circumstances were difficult, but we made the best of them.
And how did you get Robbie Williams to record? Was it on his sort of porch or balcony or something? You know, just set up a microphone and hit record and...
Yeah, correct. So Robbie got in contact with me probably about 2 weeks before the sessions were actually in place, and me and him were just chatting, just as friends. And I said to him, I was like, Robbie, man, like, if I can come up with a good song, would you be interested in it? And he was like, well, what do you got? And I played him this track on a piano on FaceTime. And I played about 20 seconds of it, and he was like, stop. I'm in. I'm down. I was like, all right, fair enough. There you go. And yeah, and then obviously when we were making the record, what became the record unintentionally, I pointed out to the band. I was like, look, Robbie Williams is still interested in doing something with us. So let's do something catered to kind of like his style, which is how Strange Days came about.
And Strange Days is an album name, by the way, very, very appropriate for what we're doing right now. Was it something you guys threw around, or was it a masterstroke? How did it pop up?
it was a masterstroke, nothing more, nothing less. And yeah, I mean, Strange Days was kind of a lyric that I had for another idea. And it was just kind of like, it was a phrase that just kept being used all the time, like strange days, science fiction becoming reality, and everything else that kind of goes along with that. And I'm so happy that I kind of like encapsulated it into like a rough lyric, because Strange Days as a song, I know it's kind of like a ballad that gets stuck right at the beginning of the album, but it really kind of sets up in a way that, I mean, I remember Nina Simone saying, if as an artist, if we cannot reflect the times, then, you know, what else are we here to do? And I'm so happy that we managed to kind of like encapsulate COVID and encapsulate the lockdown and encapsulate the claustrophobia that kind of came with it. So I'm so happy with the result.
It's the first time that the whole world is involved in something. No one is immune to this, and no one is untouched from what is going on right now. So you know, it's not a local problem, say in England or you know, America. You know, it's the first time that something this bad just affects everyone. Some more than others. So you know, it is a very appropriate name, and people will make that connection obviously pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, God, it's like, if the Struts are going to be making an album under these circumstances, it would have been very kind of, I dare say, kind of irresponsible for us to not kind of like commentate on the situation at hand. And like I said before, I'm so glad that we did. And I think that not only did we do that, but we did it in a way which was like tasteful. Like Strange Days as a record, as an album, isn't like a lockdown album per se. It just has like these little hints, little bits
Yeah.
of like Easter eggs in it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Now tell us about the Kiss cover. There's
I
one
mean,
on this album, just one, and yeah, it's brilliant.
so I was obsessed, in fact, with the girl version of "Do You Love Me," which Joe, which Phil Collin was the guitarist for the band Girl, which is one of the main reasons that I decided and pushed upon the other guys that we should do it, because I thought, well, wouldn't it be good if like Joe and Phil like got involved in this song? And once, you know, I kind of like approached them and said, would you be interested in doing this? They respectively kind of like declined. And they were like, no, 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 we want something fresh. And then I presented to them, I Hate How Much I Want You. And that they immediately said like, yeah, this is so much, you know, so much more something that we kind of like wanted to do. So it was kind of like a win-wins. And then after all was said and done, we were kind of left with like our version of Do You Love Me, which I think surpasses any other version that is out there.
Yeah. A lot of people are going to be very, very excited about this album, Strange Days. And it's finally coming to a point where a lot of bands who have gone into the studio during lockdown, they're finally releasing some music. And this to me is such a highlight of the year. It's been a shit year, but thanks so much, Luke, for your chat. And the album is out now. This is the Struts. And look, let's get you back to Australia real soon. As soon as we can get past this 14-day hotel lockdown. Actually, maybe you just come out anyway. We'll put you in a resort for a bit. Just have a break.
You put me up in a resort, feed me full of food and booze and whatnot, and I'll be out there.
Sounds good. Well, Luke, good to see you on Skype, and we'll see you soon.
And you, mate, and you. Thank you very much for having me.